What's up, YouTube? We're back for round 2 on this thing. Made it to a point now that we've got everything down to bare frame. The only thing we got to really take off on this thing is the foot pegs before we move forward. Basically, where we're going to start out right now, we're going to go ahead and get this linkage stuff off of this swing arm. And then be careful as you're doing this, because like you've got these right here that don't have any bolts through them. A lot of the times you can just put zip ties in it to hold it together while you're doing that before you take it apart. But we're already about to take this thing all the way apart, so it doesn't really matter. But just make sure if anything falls out, there's some needle bearings in here that you'll see that you don't want to lose. Okay, now we're going to take off this chain slider, both sides. Actually, we'll go ahead and do that rear one first, since it's in a little bit easier spot. Some of these do have nuts on the back side, so we're going to pop those off real quick. So as you can see, we've gotten everything off of this swing arm right here. The only thing we haven't done is taken the bearings out of this. So that's actually what we're going to work on right now. But we're going to do that. We're going to get all this cleaned up. We're going to polish this up. It's going to look so good. As you can see, it's like, for a bike that's only got a couple hours on it, it's kind of blown out. And yeah, so let's get after it. Now that we've got everything off, we're going to start cleaning out these needle bearings, which sometimes in a lot of these needles, see if I can get down in there. These needles in here will just fall out. They'll come out, you'll lay them out, all this. Well, on this style, the needles have like little pricks that stick off of them that keep them in the race. So you don't have to worry about the bearings falling out of this one specifically, per se. But always be mindful of that. So we're gonna do these a different kind of way. A lot of the times, if they fall out, you lay them out. We'll put them in the solvent tank, or you can do them by hand in a rag and some contact cleaner. But anyways, we're gonna lay out all of our pins. You're gonna pop these out just like that. There's gonna be 2 sides to them. Boom, boom, boom. A cap on this side, cap on that side, and it's gonna sit. And that's what the bearings roll on. You know what I mean? It's just a little pin for that. So try to keep up with all of these. Keep them together. It's just easier to do instead of trying to chase them down. And it's easy when you go to like pop these out. Just get a little pick, throw them on that, and pull them out. As you can see, guys, there was like no grease on this from the factory. None. It's like an oil more than a grease. This is why you want to pull this stuff down, guys, and put some actual grease in this. They're not terrible as of right now, but they're not good either. So what I am going to do, guys, now that I've got these apart, I'm just going to hit them with some contact cleaner, clean out the insides, get you a little rag, just roll them around in here. So anyways, guys, got all this stuff kind of ready. Like I said, I'm going to put all of this back on, basically. Boom. Well, I'll just go ahead and do it for you guys on the camera. And then slide these back in, slide these back in. And then we're going to get these out to the little cleaning station. Because again, we're going to have to come back and dry all this stuff out, re-clean it, just to prevent some corrosion and stuff. Before we go to take these out to wash them, put a zip tie in these. Just for the time being, they will kind of get in the way as we're cleaning. But what it's going to do is it's just going to keep that from happening right there. It's going to keep these from sliding out. And it'll just keep everything together. All right, guys, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take this air box out of the subframe, which I think on this it's just 2 8mm bolts. And then, if I'm not mistaken, should pop right out. Now we got a subframe ready to rock. So one of the last things I'm gonna do before I start polishing up on all this is I'm gonna pull these races out of the steering stem. So Motion Pro has this killer tool. Basically it's a little rubber thing and it goes down in there, and then you tighten this piece and it expands it. I'll try to see if I can show you. And it's gonna expand it out to grip that, and then you put this piece over it with your nut and your bolt, and you tighten it and it pulls it out. So it's pretty neat, cool concept. Again, goes back to my Motion Pro reference of just the stuff they come up with. And then voila, you got your bearing race out, no damage to it. It's all done with these like hard plastic rubber things. It just clips right there to the bottom and it pulls it right out. It's a killer design. Again, shout out to those guys at Motion Pro. So sick. All right, guys, made it to one of my favorite parts right here. We're going to, as you can see, got everything laid out right there on a nice folding table. It don't have to be nothing crazy. You can do this right here in your yard, whatever the case. I'm gonna show you like the 3 things that I like to use. If I was doing something more in depth, I would bring out some Napa aluminum brightener and brighten this up. It does help with cleaning this stuff. It's just really in depth, and you got to pay attention to what you're doing. So I'm going to show you guys something easy. Some red Scotch-Brite, a couple SOS pads, and I like this steel wool because of the way it'll give like a different kind of finish. And then some Mother's polish. But somebody's out riding right now. Look at that. What is he riding right there? Don't matter. Anyways, gonna bust this out and we're gonna get to cleaning up on this stuff. What do you say? All right, guys, once we have made it to the point that we've got that nice and Scotch-Brited down, you're gonna start off with the lighting's terrible, it's what it is. Start off with your SOS pad, get some soap on it, get everything, get the dirt stuff kind of off. Then you're gonna come back in with that red Scotch-Brite. You're gonna Scotch-Brite it all up, get everything cleaned up, and then basically gonna blow dry that off, and then we're gonna rinse and repeat with the subframe, swing arm, linkage, radiators, some engine mounts, the whole shebang. I'm gonna try to condense this as much as possible, so I'm not gonna show you that because it's all the same thing. And then I'll meet you guys when I get done with that. This is post-wash. Already looks dialed, but we're about to go way more in depth than that. Guys, this is the point that separates the men from the boys, although we got everything lined up looking great. Time to call your mama. Your mama. Tell your mammy we about to slick this thing up. All right, so. Whoa, had to focus back in for a minute. So, guys, believe it or not, that is an extremely time-consuming process to do right, especially when it hasn't been done already. Like from the factory, it takes a lot more work just because of the molding and the casting. You're gonna have a lot of casting marks and things to smooth down a little bit before you get to the point that you polish it. Normally, if it's a bike you've already built, you've already done that, so it eliminates a lot of the scrubbing that you have to do. A lot of the times you can get the SOS pad, give it a couple of passes, and it's dialed. As far as this goes, not quite. There's still like some little, I don't know if I can get it to focus. There's gonna be like some little gashes and scratches like that right there. A lot of that is going to come out with the polishing. But if it doesn't, that's where I'll bring that steel wool out and kind of work it back in. If you don't want to go this far with it, you don't have to. It looks good as it is. You don't have to hit it with the polish. You don't have to do anything of that. But if you're already here and you want to go to that next level of making your stuff look primo, this is the route to go. And normally when I polish, I like to get it mirror finish, and then I can scuff it with a steel wool pad or an SOS pad or a Scotch-Brite, whatever, and kind of dial it back to where I want it. I like it shiny. I like some stuff with a mirror reflective finish, but I don't want it to be a Harley Davidson either. Like, it's a dirt bike. There's a point where you can have too much shine and too much reflectiveness, got it. That it almost looks like, what are you doing here? It's like a, it's like a Harley. And that's not the look we're going for, but we're going for like a super clean, really nice polished up look. So I'm gonna get started with this, and I'll try to time lapse some of it. Again, it's gonna be like when I was washing and scrubbing. It's just a really monotonous thing that it's nothing you guys really care to see. You're not really missing anything. I'll kind of give you a breakdown of how to polish, but beyond that, I'm not going to shoot all of this and polishing it up, because it'd be a waste of your time trying to watch this and turn it into a 15-minute time lapse. But again, if you're doing this, take your time. Don't try to do it all in a day, unless you have to. If it's a situation where you have to, been there, done that, then you can do it in a day. But if you're in your garage or in your shop, or if you're in your backyard, whatever the case, take your time, break it down into a couple of days, make this a whole project, because when it gets done, the more attention you pay to the detail in it, and the more you work on the little things, the better the big thing is going to turn out. So just keep that in mind. Don't rush the process. Just do it. It's like that old saying, buy once, cry once. Well, build once, cry once, I guess. But yeah, anyways, we're going to get to polishing. So, all right. So when I'm at the point that I want to polish, which I am, big thing is don't overuse the polish. You don't have to use a ton of it. But what you're going to do, just going to dabble a little bit on your rag. Like, that's way too much. Keep that in mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of streak that out on there. And then I'm going to get where I want to start. Get that all dialed up in there. And then you're just going to circle motion this whole thing. And a lot of the times, the spots that you want to get mirrored finish, which this will be one of them that I want to be a complete mirror finish, you're probably going to have to make a couple of passes on it, but you'll start to see as the polish turns black, it'll start to blacken up a little bit. And that's just the material. It's just it cutting the material and polishing it up. But anyways, guys, this is going to be the process for the whole thing. Even the stuff with the casting marks, I'm going to polish up, and it's going to be like a shine casted look, and it's really cool. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to show you. This is what one pass does, and you see how it kind of brings out that reflectiveness, but it's still like that dull kind of. So this will probably take at least 2, maybe 3 passes to get it how I want. You're probably still going to have like your little scuff marks in there, unless you really bury down on it. I'm not too concerned about that. If it looks like I can't get a lot of them out, then I'll come back with a red Scotch-Brite, just a dry Scotch-Brite, scuff it back up, and then hit it with some steel wool again, and then buff it again. But This will be like one of the very concerning parts of that. A lot of these other places, you won't have to worry about too much, but this part in particular on the frame is the part that I like, where you can clean your teeth out of. So, all right guys, just gonna do a little like, so you can see the difference of what we're doing. It's terrible lighting. I wish if I could get that to focus in, but you guys can see the difference. Like, it makes a massive difference in this whole thing compared to dull and dirty, man. And it shines, it looks good. It's gonna be sick. Obviously I got smudge marks and stuff on it. All those will get wiped off, but it's giving you an idea. Keep in mind, this is about 45 minutes worth of doing this, so it does take time to do. Don't rush the process. When you get over here to the solvent tank, first thing we're gonna wanna do, if you can, is pop your rubber seals out and set them somewhere. If you can, you don't necessarily have to like super worry about it, but it is something you wanna be mindful of, just for the fact of the solvent in here can corrode this stuff, can corrode your seals up, and definitely not good for that. Stuff will eat them up. Normally I have a brush over here, like I said, but I brought one with me and I don't know where I've put it, so we're just going to use a microfiber. Just dip that stuff down in there and roll it around. Stuff does a really good job at getting all the old grease and dirt and stuff out of there. Like I said, I really prefer to use a brush if possible, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes. Some people don't even have a solvent tank, and if you don't have that, get you some brake cleaner, put it on a rag, and just roll it around in these bearings. Just roll it around in there, it'll clean them up. And we're gonna give it one more little dunk screw-do. And then roll that around and get that stuff. Try to get all the dirt and grease out of there, because we're gonna make this thing like butter. So any dirt we can get out of there, and then just polished all this stuff up, so I'm gonna try my best to wipe it off. We're gonna set that over here to dry. Then we're gonna do like our steering stem bearings, all of that. Just get it in there, roll it around. This is where I wish I had that brush to assist with this, but nonetheless, it's gonna get all that stuff off of there. Oh yeah, so much better. And then I'll take an air gun to these too and blow them out. Obviously don't spin them. You know the old saying, don't spin dry a bearing, because it is definitely not good for them. Look, you can already see there's like some corrosion. I don't know if you guys can see that. I can't see it from my angle, but maybe you can. Already some corrosion in there, and it was like that when I pulled it off the head stay, or the steering stem I should say. And I'll show you. Look, it's all up on here already. And mind you, like I said guys, this thing's only got like 4 hours on it maybe. So we're just gonna dunk this whole thing. We're gonna pull these bolts out too, because we're gonna grease these up when we go to assemble, and I'll show you guys what's going on with that, because they're dry as a bone, and that's not gonna work. All right, one thing I do want to tell you is like when you got stuff like this in here, get a piece of red Scotch-Brite and clean all this stuff up really good, y'all. Like there's some places on here that I already see, like, I don't know if it's focusing well, but it's got corrosion on there already, and that's just, you know, the way they make these things, and it's just where dirt sets and you don't ever get to stuff like this. So that thing, dip and scrub a dub on this thing. And it's little stuff like this that makes a huge difference, and it's little stuff like this that keeps your bike lasting a long time. You know, it's the attention to detail and just making sure everything is clean, dirt free, because dirt does a lot of damage, and you know, it's not really talked about a ton, but it does a ton of damage. And these dirt bikes require a lot of maintenance to keep tip top, you know, and you don't have to go this in depth every time with it, because if you do a good build initially, it kind of prevents some of this stuff, I should say. Not long term, but you know, you'll get more than 4 hours out of it before it, you know, looks like that. All right, so now that we've got that one packed, we're gonna do the same thing with this. Now, since we're not pulling this off the stem, we're just gonna put this on the tip of our finger right here, and we're just gonna do a little, try to get that open. Just put some on your finger, and then you're just gonna push it down in there. Same thing. It is better to pull these off the stem and do this. You're gonna get a better pack that way, but you can do it like this and you'll be fine. And I can promise you, it'll be better than what it was from the factory. So just do your little roll in there, and what that's doing is that's pushing that into that groove on the bearing and packing them up. So now we've made it to a point that what we're gonna do is wipe all this stuff off, get some contact cleaner, brake cleaner, whatever you got, and all this stuff that you got grease all over, because it's gonna be everywhere, all over there. Just take and wipe all that extra residue off, and then as you can see, that seal is wanting to pop out of there, but that's okay. See, that's what happens when you do your zip ties too tight on there. We're not trying to hold it together, more or less, just keep stuff from falling out. So this is all the stuff that we just polished up, so we're just gonna give it a good wipe down, and then once we get all this wiped down, guys, we are at a point that we can start the reassembly of this thing. So yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in as long as we have. We're gonna get everything laid out right here, and we're gonna come back tomorrow and we're gonna put this thing together, or we're gonna come back next week for you guys. For me, it's tomorrow. Just give all this a good wipe down, and then set it to the side. Go have you a cold drink or something. I don't drink anymore, so it's not for me. But once upon a time, it had been about once upon a time, it would been about time for a at least a 12 pack. Then after I got that done, I'd have been assessing whether I needed to go to the store and get another one or get an 18 pack. Hence why I don't drink anymore. So, I don't condone drinking, but sometimes I think things were a little bit funner when I was. But anyways, like I said, I appreciate you guys staying with me. Y'all just hang out, stay tuned. We're gonna build this thing. It's gonna be super sick. I've had a couple of people involved with this project, and I can't wait to see how it turns out. So thank you guys again. I appreciate it, and keep it on 2 wheels.